Hello, it's John again from JG&A. Hey, today I want to talk about the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 308 and just talk about some of the differences. Here are the two rounds, the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 308 side by side. You'll notice that this 6.5 Creedmoor at the case is the same diameter as the 308, but at the top of it, the bullet is a little different. The 308 seems to have a little more width in the diameter than that 6.5 Creedmoor, which is a little longer in the construction of that bullet as well. So let's talk about these two rounds. The 308 has been around for a long time. It's been tested. Militaries use it. Snipers have used it. Law enforcement units have used it. A lot of folks use it for hunting too because it's just a good, versatile, all-around round to use for whatever the application is going to be. But what came later was the 6.5 Creedmoor, and it initially got used as a target round. The 6.5 Creedmoor became popular or more popular because it had a flatter trajectory than what the 308 had, and it wasn't impacted or affected so much left or right as far as how the wind was blowing. So not only did the 6.5 Creedmoor have a flatter trajectory in flight and shot further, the distance was it went a lot further when you fired it, but it also had less recoil, which was very attractive to people that were competition shooting out there with targets. However, over the years, its application became more popular among law enforcement, and it got looked at by the military, who some of the units have tested that out, and some of them have gone to a more modified round in the 6.8, which the military is using right now, or starting to use through SIG, because they're developing a new rifle along with that new round to be used in military applications. But law enforcement is looking at that too, because there's nothing wrong with the 308. It's been around for a long time. It's tested and tried and proven. But the 6.8 and the 6.5 Creedmoor have just as good of terminal ballistics as the 308, but at greater distances than what the 308 has. One of the reasons that the 6.5 Creedmoor hasn't been as popular as the 308, it wasn't as available for one, and it hadn't been around for as long. Now, there's a couple of different platforms that you can use that 6.5 or that 308 in. One is a standard bolt rifle, which you see here. You see this, folks are going to hunt with this all the time. Very practical application. This is a heavy barrel Savage, and this is a 6.5 Creedmoor. However, it is also sold in this platform in the 308 as well. It's a nice rifle. This one has a little bit of weight to it because it has a heavy barrel, but if you were to put a compensator on the end of this barrel, if you would thread it and do that, you would minimize the recoil of this rifle, or you can simply get low recoil rounds, and you can use that to minimize the recoil if that was a concern for you in the 308 platform. In the 6.5 Creedmoor platform, you wouldn't have to worry about that so much because that round alone, the way it's designed, has mitigated a lot of the recoil that you would normally get in the 308. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor in a precision rifle platform, which a lot of you are very familiar with that go shooting. This is also a bolt rifle. They do make these also in an AR platform where they're semi-automatic, but it's typical that in the 6.5 Creedmoor, you're going to get this in a bolt action rifle rather than to get it in the AR platform. So they're much more stable in a bolt action than they are in the AR platform, although some of that might be arguable to some people. But when it comes to precision shooting, which remember that's what the 6.5 Creedmoor was initially designed for, they use those in bolt action rifles. So they also build a 308 in that precision platform as well. They build the 338 Lapua in that almost any precision round, even 243s, can be built in that. Depending on what you're going to use that weapon for, is how you're going to put that platform out there, and depending on what distance that you're trying to get. But for a practical application, the 6.5 Creedmoor is going to be much more useful when it comes to distance shooting as the 308, except that the 308 is affected more by environmental conditions and standards that exist at the time than what that 6.5 Creedmoor would be. So when you're making your decisions about which rifle is going to be more practical for you to use. Both of them are very good. Both of them have excellent applications. It's just that the 308 has been around for a long time, and the truth of the matter is the 6.5 Creedmoor is becoming more and more popular as more and more people become familiar with it and start using it in their applications and find out what versatility that round and that weapon actually has. Does it mean that this 308 is going to become obsolete? Absolutely not. Just like the 5.56, it's not going anywhere because there's so many of them that was made. The ammunition is widely available, and the recoil is such that a person of small stature, small frame, or just somebody that doesn't like a lot of recoil, that 5.56 have been proven to be effective in several theaters of war like Vietnam and Afghanistan, and is also even used by a lot of rogue nations around the world because they realize that, hey, I can carry more rounds in a smaller platform like an M4 when it comes to the 5.56 and be just as effective by putting more rounds on the target. Well, the 6.5 Creedmoor is kind of like that too, in that it has less recoil. Now, the round size is going to be the same, so you can't carry as many as you would in a 5.56, but just like the 308, you couldn't carry as many. But the usefulness and the versatility of that weapon for different applications is much more useful for a lot of folks, especially if you're in the military or in a law enforcement capacity. So when you're looking at these two rounds, here's that 308, here's that 6.5 Creedmoor. The 6.5 Creedmoor, again, it has a longer body. It's more linear than what that 6.8, or rather for what that 308 is. The 6.5 Creedmoor is a neck down version of what this 308 is, but at the base of these, as far as the case, they're the same case diameter. As a matter of fact, what a lot of people will do, they will use the 308 magazines to fit that 6.5 Creedmoor rounds because it'll fit, because the case diameter is the same. The bullet diameters are almost the same too. The difference is the actual bullet that's on the top of the round, and the performance is greatly different or wildly different between these two, in that the 6.5 Creedmoor shoots flatter and faster and farther than what the 308 does. But the 308 is still a very effective round at closer distances than what the 6.5 Creedmoor would be. Love to hear your comments about this. Love to hear your input about it. Hey, tell us what you think. I know at the end of a lot of these videos, folks will say, well, in the end, you make up your mind. What I'm letting you know is, yeah, it is your choice. But if you're looking for distance and less recoil, then the 6.5 Creedmoor might be your answer. If you're looking for terminal ballistics at a shorter distance, then the 308 will be your answer. But just know that outside of 400 yards, environmental conditions are going to start impacting and affecting that 308 round in a much greater way than it would that 6.5 Creedmoor. And remember that a lot of military units and a lot of law enforcement are starting to look more toward the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 6.8, as well as a lot of civilian folks too, because folks are learning how effective that round can be and the many applications that it also has in more than just being a target gun. I hope to see you on the next video. If you have questions, let us know. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Continue to watch us, continue to recommend us, continue to tell your friends about us, because that makes a big difference in how we can function and the information that we can bring to you. I'll see you on the next one.